on this side you can see a little bit, I've got my oil pastel backgrounds, and then on this side I'm going to do painted backgrounds. So I've got a tray of paint, I've got all the colours I need, because we know that I can mix these three colours to make lots of different colours, and actually having the green is really helpful as well. And then I've got a cup of water that I have half filled, so I've not gone past that line. And I've put some newspaper under my page, and that just stops the paint from going through to all of the different sections, all of the different pages. So it just protects your book. So I'm going to do a different, similar to what I did with the oil pastels, I'm going to do a different thing in each quarter, and I'll talk you through what I'm doing while I'm doing it. To start off with, I did a yellow background or a yellow wash on one of my quarters, so that it could dry before I did anything on top of it. So I just did the yellow and then I moved on to the next thing. In my next section, I did a similar thing to my oil pastel, but I used different colours. So I used a blue, a yellow and a green to create that kind of not black hole effect, but you know what I mean. So I started off with yellow in the middle and then a blue on the outside, and I just kept blending until I was happy with the result. So adding a bit of green, adding a bit of blue until I was happy with the result. Here I've mixed blue and red to make a sort of purpley colour, and I mixed it on the palette. I actually cleaned this palette just before I used it, so I rinsed it under the tap just before I used it, which meant that I could use the paint palette as a little bit of a mixing spot. So and then I just did wiggly kind of circles, so I think it looks a little bit like a storm cloud because of the colours I used. And then in the top quarter I painted the square with water first, to see what different effect it would have, and then I just did stripes. So I did stripes in different colours, and you can see, because I have wet the page first, that the paint is kind of spreading out. I've got nowhere near as much control of it, so it's kind of spreading and merging into each other. So I quite like that effect. And then on the yellow background, I did a similar thing to what I'd done with the oil pastel. So I did fireworks. So again, I started at a central point and just did kind of flicky motions outwards with different colours of paint. And if they blended, they blended. I wasn't too